Sub players, we're here at Danish Nationals 2024. The first video in ages because Denmark just hasn't really been in a good spot. But we're here with the top 32 contestant, Mads.
Hey.
And he has a very nice deck that he wants to show you. So why don't you share what you happened?
Special, it's salads.
Salad? Okay, fair enough.
So finished 32th place out of 159, I think we were.
Yeah, the biggest Danish Nationals of all time.
I just popped in top 32 to get invites and it was like 3% difference or something like that in tiebreaker, so it was really close.
Yeah, okay.
But I started out going 4-0. Then I lost 3 rounds in a row, but I won the last round in the end and finished top 32, so that was nice.
Yeah, you got the sweet sleeves and you got the playmat and
yeah, it's really nice.
All right, but let's get straight into the deck.
Yeah. So for main deck, we ran 3 copies of Salamangreat Fire.
Yeah, very standard.
For consistency, 3 Gazelle.
Obvious.
The best one we have back in Ages now. Only 2 Spinny. This is like one of the most talked about stuff, like if you play 3 or 2, but in my version I played 2 because I changed a little bit on my list, but made also special as well. So and I played 2 Weasel in the list.
That seems not very standard. So why did you play 2 Weasel?
So I actually main decked something very interesting, but a lot of people got caught off guard. That was actually I main deck an FTK strategy.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. We're looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. And this is like one of the most important part about the FTK.
So you needed to FTK.
Yeah, plus it's an extender as well, so through you can also like do princess plays through an Nibiru. If you have this in your hand, you hadn't used it, you get Nibiru. Okay, if you just use this, Makita summon a fire from their grave if they used it, of course. And then you just like do princess plays. So
alright.
There are some ways you can play it.
Exciting.
Yeah. And the last silence is just like the regular one, except for this one.
This is the new one from Legacy Destruction, right?
Yeah, it is. I wasn't super sold on it in testing, but after playing a little bit more with it, it felt kind of nice. But it's a good extender, but unfortunately it kind of cut me a little bit off guard in a way that I drew a little bit poorly sometimes, only because I had this as the only card to play with. And the rest was like fine. This one is pretty standard, obviously. There's nothing to explain.
They're like well-known Salamangreat the card at this point.
This one was nice though, because there were some times where people just hit my bailing, so I couldn't get Sanctuary. So this was really nice to have sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Now, and one time I used the Grave effect to make Power Phoenix on my opponent's turn. And I won because of it, obviously, because nuking opponent's board during their turn is kind of nutty. So that's more of the ancient cards.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain why I played
Max
them.
consistency.
Yeah. 1 Sanctuary. This card I started with it too much. Will of Salamangreat. This is the part of the FTK. It's not too standard in salads, for my understanding and for what I've seen, but I like this still.
Okay.
It's a nice card. The new charge.
What does this one do? I haven't seen anyone use it before.
So you can use one of the 2 effects. The first effect is you can target up to 3 fires from either grave or banish. Summon one of them, and the other 2 you shuffle back to the deck.
Okay.
And the other part is if you have a fire link monster with different attack from its original, you can pop a card on the field. So it's basically a worse rate, but it's like an extender in a way. Okay. And when you're running FTK, you had to play some sort of extender. So this was like
you're aiming to kill them on the first turn.
Yeah. So it was kind of more fitting to have, and in the worst case, it's a good destruction card.
All right.
And the 1 war, of course, in case the FTK doesn't work.
Do you play? How much stun engine do you play? Are we coming to that now, or?
We're actually coming to the FTK now.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
And that's the possessed cards.
Yeah. So these are the ones that kill them on the first turn. Yeah.
So this one, the Awakening Possessed, whatever it's called, you can send a spellcaster and a face-up level 4 lower fire monster from your field to grave. Summon this from your deck or hand. It's not an effect that activates, so that's also kind of awkward already to explain it. But when it's special summons, you can target a monster your opponent controls, and you deal burn damage to its attack. Okay. And when it's sent to the grave, you can add the Spiritual Fire, which says you tribute a fire monster, and then you burn them for the original attack that they had. Yeah,
so you can like tribute Raging Phoenix and burn them for 3,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the basic combo for it is like you're doing 8,004 burn damage in just a 2-card combo. So it's pretty consistent as well, because all you need is just like Gazelle and the fire. to make the FTK, and other combinations as well works as well. But it also depends on my hand as well. And you can sometimes play through extender.
Ah, okay.
So it's pretty consistent and decent, but unfortunately it still falls to Nibiru.
Yeah.
But a lot of people cut Nibiru from the main deck, so it was kind of like nutty.
That's a good thing for Salad, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it helped. So the FTK helped a lot. Also, it forced people to literally have interruptions. If they don't, I just win.
Oh yeah, my question. Why didn't you play Rage? No, yeah, the Rage.
Because I didn't find it necessary, because I'm not trying to build a board. I'm literally just trying to win as fast as possible.
Makes sense,
So
makes sense.
that's also the other card was like fine.
Yeah.
But now for the non-engine cards, we play 3 Ash, 3
Obvious.
Imperm, only 2 Veiler, but I play a Ghost Mourner. I cut a little bit weirdly on the hand traps because I didn't really want to play too many non-engine cards, just to play more extenders. That's why some of the cuts came from the 2 Cone of Soul. And then I also play 2 Ghost Orb as well, just to have like decent amount of hand traps still.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, these were like the best in my opinion. And then I play 2 Talents and 1 Call By from more non-engine, but also it's like decent disruption against if they interrupt my FTK, then I just hand loop them. Or and then made like normal Salad Ball with Princess Engrave and Roar sets.
Yeah.
So that's for the main deck. 40 card exactly. Extra deck. So 3 Bailings.
Self-spare, sorry.
2 Sunlight Wolf. You never made the third one, and I never missed it, so 2 was fine.
Yeah.
One thing I really like to play about was actually 3 Raging Phoenix.
I've seen people do that sometimes, but I also see people play 2.
Yeah.
But why did you decide to play 3 then?
So it's one of the most important parts to do the FTK, because you need 2 to do the FTK, but also if you get interrupted like too early and stuff like that, but you can sometimes just like make the second one. Plus, when you also have stuff like Cone of Soul, it's really easy to make the relink without the field spell.
Mm-hmm.
So if your Bailings get interrupted and you don't have the field spell, then if you have Cone of Soul, you can make it through Cone of Soul, and then next turn you have make Bailings, you get the field spell, so you can still make the third one viable. Sometimes that happens, but I never make the third one at all. So, but it was fine still have as an option. 2 Power Phoenix, which is the important part for the FTK.
Okay.
Also, is a decent ball wire because of Cone of Soul as an interruption. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
Gonna go put these aside. Hita, Princess, not.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain why I'm playing them. Also, they're part of the FTK as well. Mirage, the one Mirage Salio as well. And for the last 2 cards in the extra deck, that's the ones I never made, but the idea was fine. Widget Kit and Horse Prince.
To search Ash, right?
This one searches what's not called
Weasel, or
searches Weasel. But the problem is there are so many times I locked myself into fire effects and summon, so I never really made this. But the idea was fine. This one can summon Ash and you bounce it with Stalio, but it's sometimes rarely happen. But I also can summon Cone of Soul as well from the deck, which was intended to do, but it never happened. I never made these 2, so I can't really tell so much about it. But the idea was fine.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So that's for the extra deck. Side deck.
Yeah.
Not super happy about the side deck, but it felt fine in the end. So 3 Joel for Voiceless. I sometimes side this in against Snake Eye just to disrupt them a little bit for the searches. But that's just me. 2 Nibiru. Would love to have space for the third one, but I didn't have space. And D-shift as well because of crossouts. Because going first, doing side deck, consistent FTK is nice. Also, it stops Nibiru as well, which is like one of the selling points of crossout, obviously. It stops Shifter and all the other hand traps. So I like the crossout a lot.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wouldn't change that. 3 Cosmic, never used it, so I can't really tell. But it was a fine interruption as well. And something else. And the last cards that I played was Change of Heart and 2 Mind Control.
To take up a loser, I assume?
Yeah, to take up a loser, but also like since you only like require monsters sometimes for both Princess and Hita, then sometimes this was just nice 1-for-1 removals, plus they can bait out negations as well, which is really nice.
Alright. So do you wanna show us the FTK?
Sure, I can do that. So basically, all you need is basically just these two to do the FTK. But there are some combinations of like all of these.
Oh, so you need both of these or just one of them?
Just need both of them.
Okay,
it's
sure.
a 2-card combo, but you can also like open a combination of these with some of them and still do the FTK because when this you just summon this with Stelio or you summon this with Horse Prince, depending on your hand as
Okay,
well.
yeah, fair.
So there are some ways you can do it as well without opening these. But there's 6 rollers in the deck, so it's pretty obvious what you can.
Yeah.
This is the most obvious you have.
Yeah.
So you just do so because when you open this, you just summon Fog, summon Fire.
So this is in hand right now?
Yeah, this is your hand.
Yeah.
And this is important you search Weasel because if you don't have any of the roses, then you cannot find Weasel at any point.
Ah, okay.
So it's important you find a Weasel with
immediately
with this search, unless you have it. But that's also why I play 2
yeah.
to increase my odds as well. Link this into Bailings. So we do the obvious chaining 1 and chaining 2, obviously.
Yeah.
Chain block. Where is it? It is right here.
Yeah.
Sanctuary. And then Gazelle sends specifically Spinny this time. And use Spinny to since you control salads. This to make Stelio. And then Stelio effect to summon Jack. Or depends on your hand when you and of course if you didn't start with fire, you summon fire and search Weasel. Just to clarify that. Link these 2 away into Wolf, or it doesn't really matter which one you make. It doesn't.
You just need a link 2 that points down.
You just need the link 2, or you. Yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. You can just do it like recycle Gazelle at this point.
Yeah,
so you summon Weasel here, get Gazelle back. That's like the only reason you're doing this. Or else you don't need. It's not necessary, but it's nice to have Gazelle back. Then maybe sometime Ash.
And then you link 4 into Raging Phoenix?
Yeah, when we do Raging Phoenix, and when we do the relink already, because then we're gonna make another one, and then we use the effect to search Will this time. Gonna use the Will effect, send it to grave, target the Raging, so you can summon up to 4 salads from deck for grave or hand. In defense specifically, so you can summon the links.
And this is in hand, right? Or
this is the hand.
Yeah,
and this cannot be summoned because it was got back from Wolf. So you just summon these 4. In case you don't have the last one, you can always summon Stelio. So that's also works.
Okay.
Link these 2 away for Heater.
Ah, and there's the spellcaster for the Inari Fire.
And then we link these 2 into Princess. When you use Princess effect to summon back Heater specifically, it's really important. Then you link the Raging Fire and Princess into Pyro Phoenix. Then you're gonna use Weasel's effect to summon Raging to your opponent's field, since the Salamangreat was summoned from the extra deck. This is the opponent's field. And when this got put back into the deck and you just draw a card, it doesn't really matter which card it is.
Yeah, it can be a blank card.
It can be like whatever. When since our Link Monster was summoned to the opponent's field, Pyro Phoenix can then burn for that monster attack, so that's 28.
Okay.
So you send these 2 to grave as the next option.
And then you summon the Inari Fire here.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. It's right here. And this is not an effect that activates, so...
Yeah, it's just inherent,
Yeah, exactly. And since it was special summon, you can target a monster your opponent controls, and then you burn for the original attack. So that's 28 times 2, that's 56. And Jack Jaguar has not been used yet, so we can use it to shuffle whatever salad back. I usually shuffle back Wolf. Wolf back. Then I link these 2 away. For the Wolf, I just put back. Then you're gonna use the effect for the Possessed to search the trap. Then you're gonna set the trap, pass turn, doing your opponent's draw phase, flip this, tribute Pyro Phoenix, and you do 28 for the 3rd time. That's 84 damage.
Damn. Very nice.
Yeah, so pretty consistent FTK when it works. It can play through hand traps, depend on your hands. That's why I play some of the extender that I played. Pretty nice.
Alright, Team Paradigm, signing out.